All right, I think we're good to go. What's up, guys? Steven here, back in Woo Studio. It's the end of hunting season for me, for at least deer, elk, and all that good stuff. Definitely going to be chasing some coyotes and wolves and hopefully some lions here soon as well. Never really ends, but the bulk of hunting season, the bulk of fall's over for me. Today I want to go over cold weather essentials. I'm not going to be going over things like gloves and mittens and hand warmers. I think everybody kind of knows about those. I'm going to go over a little bit different items that I might carry. I'm going to go over some simple ones that I don't forget. But basically items that I think might get overlooked or forgotten about, or people don't try them and they don't know how much of a game changer they are. And a couple pieces of gear that I tried for the first time this year that are not going to leave my pack. So let's get it started. Get my whiskey out of the way here. The first one I'm going to start with is kind of simple gear. It's puffy gear. I mean, I don't think it's any secret you need puffy gear when it gets cold. Ooh, that was close. I'm gonna move that. But I kind of wanted to specifically talk about a few pieces of puffy gear. When I go out and it starts getting in, man, you start hitting that single digit stuff. I carry a lot of puffy gear. 3 pieces specifically. I carry a puffy vest, and the one I've been running this year is a Born Primitive one. I like it. I used to not run a puffy vest, but they make a really big difference, I think, keeping your core warm. And it being a puffy vest, you can hike in it, and it's not like overly warm. You can unzip it. I think it's just a good balance. It's a piece that I really, really ended up liking this year. I didn't think I was going to like it that much. I thought it was just kind of not needed. But really, that vest, keeping your core warm, I think it made more of a difference than I expected. The other piece is a puffy gear, is a puffy jacket. I don't think that's a secret. Two I use a bunch is the Born Primitive Heavy Puffy Jacket. This one's pretty dang nice. It was quite a bit warmer than I expected. It's a tough jacket. It's got the elbows reinforced, and it does have pit zips here. Just a little bit to dump some heat. I never hiked in this jacket. It never got that cold for me. You gotta be way cold to be hiking in a puffy jacket. The other puffy jacket used a lot is the Lars Park Parka. I've been using this for like 5 or 6 years now, and it's never failed me. It's tougher than crap. Never ripped it, never destroyed it, and it's super warm. One thing I'll talk about, the other thing I'll say about puffy gear is a lot of people go super, super light, and I've done that as well. I've gone the very, very light routes when it comes to puffy gear. It just never cuts it, man. I freeze. So I've kind of avoided the lightweight puffy gear anymore, and I've gone a little bit heavier. Not that puffy gear is that heavy in the first place, or, I don't think puffy gear is where you want to save your ounces. I carry a lot of puffy gear because it keeps me warm and it keeps me on the side of the hill. A couple times this year I was just sitting on the side of a hill waiting for storms to go, just bundled up my puffy gear, didn't need to start a fire or anything, just let it roll. The big one that I think a lot of people don't run is puffy pants. These are the Kafaru puffy pants. Same thing, tougher than crap. Seats reinforced, knees are reinforced, and it's way warm. When you're sitting on the side of the hill and you got some like leggings on and just your pants, and that wind even just starts to blow just a little bit, it's game over. So this is the big one, I think, when it comes to puffy gear. Everybody knows about the jackets. There's no secret there. But puffy pants. If you haven't tried puffy pants, it should be your next cold weather gear purchase. These things are huge to keep you warm. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about those guys. We'll move on. Another one, kind of going on the same lines, is this stupid pad. I don't normally carry it too much in the summertime unless unless we're trying to like walk somebody in on a mule deer or something like that. I'll use this. I'll take it so we have it as like an orange flag for directions across the canyon. But for wintertime, I never leave it behind because you're sitting in snow, you're sitting in mud, and that ground will just suck the energy right out of you and suck that warmth right out of you. So this simple little pad that you sit on is just going to keep you just a little bit warmer, not soak your butt, not soak your pants, so you're going to stay dry and you stay a little bit warmer. The next one, I started using these for the first time this year. I got a lot of recommendations, and these are Catula micro spikes. I've hunted the snow a lot and never even really crossed my mind to even think about using these. until this year I was on a hunt that was really snowy. And dude, I fell so many times. I slipped on every snow stake, everything was slick. The ground was rough. We were packing out a bowl, and I finally went, man, I gotta try these out. So I gotta figure something out. So we asked for some recommendations. A whole bunch of people recommended the Catulas for us. And these, when it's snowing, I will never leave these behind again. When there's any kind of snow on the ground or any kind of ice on the ground, these are staying in my pack. I started leaving behind my trekking poles because I felt so secure when I was using these things, and such a good bite into the ground. I thought it would stop me from falling, but I didn't really understand or even think about how good the grip was going to be, that when you're hiking in that snow without them, your foot kind of slides, kind of like you're hiking in sand. But these give you such good grip that I didn't need my trekking poles, and I just had confidence in every single step, and I felt like I was hiking faster and a little more efficient. So super impressed with these things. Not sponsored or anything like that, just trying to get the information out there. These things were like $70-$80 or something like that. Well worth it. The only thing I can say is I did lose them off my boots a couple times, and I never really made it very far until I noticed that they were gone, because I'd end up slipping and like look down and be like, crap, they're gone. But I think I might throw a little like safety 550 cord around it to kind of give it a little bit more. If it starts to slide off, at least I don't have to go searching for it in the snow. They did fall off my feet a couple times this year. I don't know if I got too big of a size or what, but I'm going to come up with a solution. So if they do fall off, I'm not going to lose them anymore. So moving on. One thing I will bring a lot on the hill when it's cold is a jet boil and some pour over coffee in a cup. It's a really nice pick-me-up to have something warm that you can sip on. I normally will bring 2 in a day. I bring an Nalgene or 2, and so I can have a couple cups of coffee, one in the morning, and then one if it's in the middle of the day. It's starting to get slow and you're cold. Just that nice warm drink is a nice pick-me-up. I will drink these Kuju ones, or Kuhu, or I don't know where, but whatever. A couple local stores. Al's Sporting Goods sells them, so they're kind of convenient to buy, and then I think REI has them as well. But a company that's a little more hunting oriented is Dark Timber Coffee, and they make the same things, and if they weren't so expensive, I'd probably drink them at home. That Dark Timber Coffee is way good. Just black right into a cup on the side of a mountain. Really good coffee. Next thing's going to be a little bit more of a debate. It's something I've kind of run into over the last couple of years that I've been trying to figure out myself when it comes to boots. So I've got these, I think they're the Brickstall something or others, but they're uninsulated boots. These, the Chemex or something. As you can see, they're not very used. These are 400 insulated boots. So when it comes to wintertime and insulated boots for me, I've kind of had contradicting experiences, I guess. The uninsulated boots, my feet get cold a little bit faster. I do have warm feet, so just take that with a grain of salt, I guess. My feet stay pretty warm. They do get cold, but I can hike. And once I start hiking or moving or start a fire, my feet warm up really fast. Like I start hiking a little ways, and I'm good to go. The insulated boots, my feet stay warmer longer, but once they get cold, I feel like they stay cold. I'd be really curious if anybody else has this experience or if it's just me. Let me know below. I think since the insulation inside these boots, once the insulation gets cold and your feet are just small, they have a hard time reheating everything back up. So no insulation, your feet can warm back up. The insulation, once your feet get cold, it has to warm up your feet and the boot around you, which is now an icicle because it's been sitting in the snow. At least that's my theory. So this is not something I'm really recommending one way or another for you. I think it's something you're going to have to test out. I also have a pair of 1,000-gram Loas, and those things are heaters, but they're also 700 pounds, and they feel like bricks attached to your feet. So if you're trying to get into the country and hike and get after it, they're not the best boots. But if you're going for a walk and you're going to go, walk half a mile to go coyote hunting, those are probably the way to go, and you're going to be sitting for a while. But when I'm hiking and glassing and moving and everything else, I want some lighter boots. I want something that's a little more flex. Just my style. But yeah, that's it. So last but not least, this one's a little bit different. I got recommended to this thing by a buddy of mine, Jordan, and man, did this thing come in handy. Obviously, it's not something that's going in my pack, but it went in my side-by-side, and it went in my truck, and anytime you want to fire and you're near your rig, this thing was awesome. I mean, I ran it for like 4 or 5 days, and I think I only burned up half the battery, and we used it a ton because we were staying in a teepee this year on one of our hunts, and we had a little stove in our teepee to keep us warm. If we had to either break or cut all that wood by hand, man, we've been cutting longer. We've been sleeping. So this little thing rips. It's small. The battery's awesome, and yeah. Long story short, this thing is gonna live in my side-by-side on my truck anytime it even gets a little bit cold, or if you're in a burn area or something like that, and you're worried about a tree falling over. It's not a very big blade, but man, I bet you if you chopped away long enough, you could get the tree out of the way for you. I carry an extra battery just in case, but like I said, that one battery did last a really, really long time. But that's it. That's my winter gear list. That kind of things that you might not think about, things you might not have tried. Hope that was helpful. Gonna have my nice awkward goodbye. This is what it is. Cheers, guys. If you have any questions, throw it in the comments. If you need me to make a video on something, curious about any of my humble opinions, let me know. I'll see you on the next one.